Good evening, dear guests. Welcome to our third webinar about vertical farming, part of the Echoing Plus project, where we embarked on a journey that intertwines a few vital and interconnected subjects like climate change, secure food production and consumption, and smart farming for the empowerment of young individuals. Today, we shine a spotlight on sustainable urban farming with PLNT. In a world facing environmental challenges, it has become imperative to explore innovative solutions that address these complex issues. Our webinars bring together experts and pioneers in the field of agriculture, ecology, and technology to discuss how we can collectively combat climate change, secure our food sources, and empower our youth through smart farming practices. Our distinguished speakers for this event are at the front of this movement. They're Dr. Iva Johovic, aka Dr. Plant, and Hans Snijder, co-founder and CEO of PLNT. They will say a bit more about themselves in a bit. Before we start, I want to mention that we have 7 more webinars on the topic of vertical farming coming up. So you can stay tuned by visiting our Facebook page, where we post more information about them. And without further ado, let's welcome our speakers, Dr. Iva Johovic and Hans Snijder, who will introduce us to the flourishing world of PLNT. Iva, Hans, the stage is yours.
Well, I can start, Hans can start. Anyway, we are the plant. My name is Iva, as Joanna already said. Thank you so much again for giving us this opportunity to participate in your webinars. It's really our pleasure to share our experience, how we came up with starting to grow as a vertical farm. That's going to be more Hans, who's going to share his whole trip, and he's going to tell you how we do things, what is motivating us, what we are striving for. In any case, about me, I'm biologist and ecologist and agronomist by background. My PhD is actually in ecology, not in plant biology, but Hans is always teasing me that I'm Dr. Plant.
She is.
Well, Hans is economist by background, and you can say.
So my name is Hans Snijder. I am one of the co-founders and the current CEO of PLNT. I'm really happy to have everybody here, whether you're joining the webinar or you're watching this later on YouTube. One thing we enjoy at PLNT is spreading knowledge about vertical farming, because we love what we do, and second, we believe in sharing lots of information about how we do things, and also a bit why we set up PLNT. We aim to inspire and also help other people who like to journey into vertical farming. As you've already told you, I am an economist in background, also extensive background in IT, so information technology, and some in finance as well, banking. So I have a broad background before venturing into agriculture.
Before becoming farmer.
Yes, before becoming a farmer.
Okay.
Shall we start by
we can start.
Sharing a little bit about
our menu for today. Our menu for today is starting with, of course, starters. We're going to give you a brief introduction to Plant Company, why Plant, how Plant came to be. Then as a main dish, we're going to tell you how do we work, what do we grow, and who makes Plant work. We're going to tell you a little bit about our team, what is our backgrounds, and how we do it. And as a dessert today, we're going to tell you what makes us tick, what makes us excited about vertical farming. We're going to tell you more about our principles, what we stand for, and of course, what we have achieved in these 4 years since Plant started to exist. Of course, we're going to share also what's next, what we have on our plate, and we're going to give you an opportunity to ask questions and share how you came up the idea of starting to do farming vertically, and what would you like to do? So let's go further. So we're going to also present how do we grow, and it's going to be really simple in the sense what do we do here. So I'm just going to explain the really simple process how we operate the farm. So we are using coco coir as a substrate. or cocoa peat. There are so many different names for the same product. That is basically side product from the coconut industry. Basically, cocoa husks are being smashed and being in fine grind, and they're being sterilized and then packed in the bags and available for the growers like we are. We are basically putting this substrate in different sizes of the trays with different shapes of the trays, and we are then basically putting seeds inside. Yes. After that, we are just doing germination. Germination can be 1 to 3 days mostly, depending also what we are trying to grow. There are some seeds that are requiring much longer germination or requiring some pre-soaking. We are using different densities depending what we are growing. So then next part of the process is basically growing. So we are using these 2 different systems. We are having these racks from the beaver innovations that we are calling beavers. This is the upper picture, and then this is on the bottom. It's our main growing unit that we are using usually for herbs and leafy greens. But in the future, we're going to be also separating that 2 different types of products. We're going to use the Modulex that is produced by Urban Crop Solutions only for the leafy greens, while we're going to use Farm Pro, another product from Urban Crop Solutions, for the herbs. And on the above picture, you can see actually our microgreens unit. So the next picture is showing you how we do our harvest. So we have different products are being harvested in different times. Microgreens we harvest after 7 to 10 days. Leafy greens usually after 2 weeks, but there are also requirements from some customers that they are more like 17 days, depending what they're using it for. So if somebody wants to use, for example, Mizuna for wraps, we're gonna leave it longer in the system. If they want to use it as young baby leaves, then we're gonna take it out of the system earlier.
Yeah, we do try to standardize as much as we can.
Yeah, of course.
Make our lives a bit easier.
That's absolutely sure, but also we are trying to always supply our customers with the product they want. So we always listen to them, listen to what they need, and we adapt to that, of course. And then you can see a picture of the harvesting, of our harvesting. Basically, a product is being cut and being packaged in the different sizes of the packages. And here you can see the packages that we are using that are reusable. We have 4 different sizes, these inoxes, and then 3 different sizes of the plastic boxes. These plastic boxes, we are using the system of swapping. Basically, when the delivery guy brings the product to the customer, he's giving him the full box while the customer is giving the empty box, and that's how we operate. So all of the boxes are being reused. So there is no plastic trash, there is no waste. And then this is our fleet. There are these 2 cargo bikes, e-cargo bikes, and we are using them to deliver our products all around the city. And the next picture is actually what is behind our farm. And this is our compost heap. But we are not, our substrate is not staying there forever. It's only staying there for a short period of time. And then it's being gifted to the city, to the company that is doing gardening for the city of Antwerp. And they're reusing our substrate. So we are avoiding waste on one more way.
Yeah, here you can see in the process, you can see several I've covered in a bit. Some of our principles at work, and why do we use, for example, cocoa coir, is because we do not wish to use a single drop of pesticides. That's one of the major reasons that we use cocoa coir, because it doesn't contain life that we need to do something about.
It's being pre-sterilized.
It's pre-sterilized, and we avoid using any pesticide at all. So our plants, for example, you can eat them straight away. There's no treatment. The other things you see the reusable packages. We try to reuse as much as possible everywhere. Our trays, our packages, they're always exchanged with clients so that we don't produce waste. And that's our zero waste policy again. Then in effort, you see you can see in the compost. That's the only thing we actually produce as waste, and even that we put value again back into the chain because it goes into a part where it's reused. So everything we produce gets a new life. And as well then distribution, local, through bikes.
Yeah. So the next picture is, it's a picture of our control system, or how you would represent this.
We call it a dashboard. Vertical farming, of course, is also technology and
control environment. Yeah,
it's a control environment, and you need to control all your different factors. So our systems, they all produce data and input, but you need to have an ability to follow up on that. So we have implemented systems to make sure that we can track all the key things that we need to do. Also, because why do we automate that? Why do we track that? We have so that we do not need to check everything constantly. So we have sensors in place that track humidity, that track pH, that track CO2 levels, that track temperature. Temperature, you can see our day and night rhythms, for example. You see that going up and down. All this is controlled, checked, and monitored automatically. We have alert systems in place so that we don't need to be at the farm constantly. So if there's nobody there, if one of these measures goes out of line, we get alerts automatically, whether through WhatsApp, Slack, or SMS, or email, even if necessary. These are systems we built so that we have, as much as possible for farmers, have a 9-to-5 working ability as well. Plus, if things go wrong, we can pinpoint and we can see trends going
when
wrong.
it happened, and how to avoid it in the future. Because we operate with certain kind of like growing recipe, so all of these values have the bottom and higher level they can reach, and basically if this happens, that something goes out of the balance, we are immediately informed, and we are just coming back and repairing what needs to be repaired.
And as a Dr. Plant, as I call it, of course, she gets to see if we can produce better results in plants. We can get better yields, better results in harvest, etc. And that's all. You need data to tweak that. So that's what this all provides. So we can zoom in, we can zoom out, and we can collect data and see if what happened. If we have a slightly worse harvest, we can go back and say, hey, did something happen? And we can adjust for that. So very data-driven approach.
Yeah, this is more or less it. And then the next picture is actually showing you what do we grow, because we told you already that we are growing salads, we are growing herbs, we are growing microgreens, but you can see actually now in the pictures what is coming to our at least individual customers' tables. So you have plant box on one side, herb box on the upper picture, and then on the side picture on the right side, you have microgreen boxes with the different varieties from pea shoots, amaranth, broccoli, and mustards, I think, if I can see well. So basically, as Hans said earlier, 40-50 varieties at the moment, but basically we are always able to grow on demand. That means that chefs can come tell us, like, for example, I would like to have this on my menu, I cannot find it anywhere, could you grow it for me? Then we are checking how to grow this variety. We see if we can actually grow it in our system, because as we said earlier, we have certain recipe and we need to operate inside of this recipe. We don't have millions of different growing units, so we still need to see, at the moment. So we need to see if we can actually put this in. And then we do the test trial, and if it grows successfully, basically we continue growing this for our customer. So by now, so approximately at the moment, we are growing around 5 tons of products per year. And we are planning to, with the new unit, that we're going to be around 7 tons per year. And that unit is going to be probably open around December, I think. It's going to be set in place and working. So that's basically it. And well, our people. By now you met me and Hans. On these pictures, you can see some other faces also, some other pretty faces. So first pretty face on the right side, upper level. This is Deed. This is our, well, he's doing so many different things that is really hard to sum up, but he's doing administration, communication with customers, but occasionally he's also riding a bike and doing delivery that needs to be done. On the bottom picture, you can also see this beautiful girl from New Zealand. She's our in-house chef. She's chef by the background. She's been working in many Michelin restaurants, but she's farmer in heart also. And she's doing communication with chefs. She's doing also our Instagram campaigns, Instagram outreach. And she's here, basically to always help to develop new menus and to help us also to try new tryouts with plants that are interesting for the HoReCa sector.
It takes, the key thing is the way we've set up Plant is that we do the end-to-end. We start from seeds and we deliver to the door of our clients, which means you need to do the full process in between. It's not, we're not specialized in just growing. We're not specialized in propagation. We're not specialized in distribution. We have to do the whole thing, which means you need different people with different kinds of expertise. Yeah. Because we do farming, we do marketing, we do logistics, we have administration, we have you have to have the whole thing up and running
in a small family, because they're still small. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to our principles.
Absolutely.
What are we standing for?
What sets us apart from just somebody playing around with lights? So our principles, we have basically two areas where we apply principles, and that's quality and sustainability. And why because we believe we can grow with these principles, we can grow a better product in a better way. So first of all, that's our devotion to quality. And that's where we have, we use technology to produce a product which is, quite frankly, better and more tasty, which is why we have the ideal climate. So we set all our settings in our system. We control all our settings, whether it's humidity, the amount of light, the amount of nutrients, the amount of CO2, the amount of moisture, how often they get water, how much nutrients are in there. Everything we try to control and just have a spa for our plants to grow in. It's also as tasty as can be. So what we aim for is the way we sell to chefs is basically try it, taste it. Same way we sell to consumers. Try it. We ask people, anybody, give them a box, try it. They will never come, they stay loyal because it is, quite frankly, not a salad like you've ever tasted, or not a basil. We can compete with the best basil in Italy in summer, all year round. So we have a product that is as tasty as possible. It's always in season. So because we control our climate, we are able to produce throughout the year the same quality also. And it's the same quality of product. It doesn't fluctuate. It's always the same. Very important for chefs. They know what to expect. They know what it's going to taste like. So that's always in season. And it's also very extremely, how can I say, fresh, because you want, if you get this,
the way how we operate,
it is,
we cut and we
deliver.
Yeah.
So there is no wait, and your produce is not abused, because if you buy something in the supermarket, well, that salad has been abused with multiple temper shocks. It has been washed. It has been beaten. So when you open your salad, it will be gone in, let's say, 2 days.
Yeah, it's not going to look the same.
You want to throw it away. Our salads and our herbs, they last for a week and a half, 2 weeks easily, if you are careful with opening and closing your box. That's very important to us, at that quality.